Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben. And when it comes to a cold plunge, there's really only two things that really matter. That is keeping your cold plunge clean and also keeping your cold plunge cold. So guys, in this video, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you how you can actually keep your cold plunge as cold as possible, and also a few tips and tricks on how to keep your water extremely clean. Now, the good people over at the pod company, they sent me 4 different things for me to show off to you guys. And the first thing is we have this water jet right here. They also sent me these ice bricks. They also sent me their maintenance kits. And the most interesting thing of all of them is they sent me this ultra cover set, is what they call it. And this is an insulation wrap. This is a foam wrap that goes around the entire ice pod. And this is supposed to actually keep the temperatures much colder than they would be otherwise. Okay, so here we have the ice pod. Now, if you guys watched my last review video on the ice pod, there was 2 cons that I had about the ice pod. Was number 1, that it didn't maintain the temperatures as well as I thought it should. And number 2, the fact that there was a lot of condensation that develops on these. And so it gets what they, it kind of sweats. So a lot of water on the outside exterior of it. And that's pretty common for any of these pods. And so the solution to that is the ice pod, the insulated covers that they sent me. And that's pretty cool. That's what we're going to take a look at now. This is the Ultra cover set from the pod company. This is an insulated wrap right here. And guys, this is actually pretty dang neat because for a few reasons. Number 1, it has the insulation, so it's about 1/2 inch thick insulation. This wraps around the entire ice pod. And just a tip right here, it's probably a little easier to actually put this on before you put water in. What's also neat about this is that they actually make room for the 2 chiller ports right there. Now, another feature I really like about this cover right here is the fact that it actually finally has some of these clips right here. So you can, put this lid on and you can kind of keep your kids out or anything else out of your ice pod, and not have to worry about it. Now, don't worry, later on here in the video, I am going to go ahead and turn on the chiller. We're going to see how well that insulated cover works because today it's going to be another really, really hot day. So we're going to see if the temperatures will actually drop in the ice pod a little bit faster than they did last time in my last review. Now, let's talk about another accessory. Now, for all of y'all out there that aren't using chiller at this point, which you probably should be, the ice pod company, they came out with this ice brick, and it's actually a pretty cool solution. These come in a pack of 3 right here, and these are just like a kind of like a vinyl little pouch here that you can fill up with water. You throw this in your freezer, and then once you're done, you can throw this in your ice pod to cool it down. And this is definitely a solution, not just for those people that, don't have a chiller, but for those that actually have a chiller, having something like this where you can say the water starts at about 80 degrees and you need to drop the temperature down, being able to throw in some ice blocks like this in there is really going to help drop the temperatures even faster and save you a lot of money on your electricity. Now, one thing I do want to mention about these, that I saw somebody leave a review and they said that they weren't very durable and that they actually tore. And so when you guys fill these up with water, if there's any kind of water on the outside and you throw that in your freezer, that water is going to stick to whatever it's touching. And so when you lift it up, it will rip. So just a pro tip here, you want to actually dry these off before you throw it in the freezer. And if you do that, you can avoid any kind of rips or tears. Now, the third thing I want to show you is this little guy right here. This is what they call the ice pod jet. Now, for those people that are really devoted to doing cold plunges, you've probably done a lot of research. You probably follow Andrew Huberman. And there's one thing that he talks about, and that's called like a thermal barrier, that when you hop into cold water, you develop like this barrier around your body. And so that if you don't have any sort of like moving water around your body, you actually get acclimated to that temperature. And so you don't feel it quite as much. And so if that's you and you want to be able to agitate the water, then this ice pod jet is your go-to solution for sure. All right, so the way that this works is you actually put this down inside of the ice pod, you put it underneath the water, and of course it has this very, very strong magnet, and this goes on the outside and clips right on. And I mean, this has a super strong magnet, guys. All right, now I got the jet installed down there, and so it's circulating water, and if I put my hand down in front of it, it's definitely pushing a good amount of water right there. So that leads me to the 4th product from the pod company, and that's their chiller maintenance pack. Now, this is a 4-month supply of all the chemicals that you could possibly need, plus the filters and cleaning pads to keep your ice pod as clean as possible. And I'll tell you right up front that if you're not maintaining your ice pod, it can get really gross really fast. I mean, within a week of using it, you'll definitely start developing some films and just cloudy water and a lot of other things. And so what we have in this pack is, first of all, we have what they call the water stabilizer. And this is a hydrogen peroxide based stabilizer right here. And basically all you have to do is add about 2 ounces every single week. They have right here on the bottle easy markings so you know exactly how much to put in. And so this would be a 1-month supply for every bottle. Now, while we're at it, let's go ahead and just add a little bit of the water stabilizer since I haven't added any of that already. If you look back here at the instructions, it says just go ahead and add 2 ounces of the stabilizer to your ice bath once a week. So let's go ahead and add 2 ounces. They do make this ridiculously easy. They have the markings right here on the side so you know exactly how many ounces you're pouring in there. Okay, that'll do it. Now in this chiller pack here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bottles of the water stabilizer. And then when you actually go to drain the water, clean it out, we do have the cleanser right here. And so this is all natural. It's like a cleaning soap. You go ahead and just use this and you can clean your ice pod. And also as part of this, they have 4 different of these cleaning pads right here. They're supposed to be antibacterial, so these cleaning pads, you use these just to wipe down the inside, kind of wipe off any of that grime that you get right there. And then finally, of course, if you got the chiller, they do include 4 of these filters right here. So the idea is that you change out the filter once a month, and that seems about right to me. Now we've gotten to that point in the video where I want to actually show you guys how some of these products work, starting with the insulated cover. Now guys, just like last week when I tested all this stuff out, it is a very hot day. I think it's about 88 degrees right now, something like that. It's supposed to get to be about 93 degrees. So this is a perfect day to do another stress test on the ice pod chiller in the pod, just to see how well it'll actually perform relative to how well it did without the cover. All right, now guys, before we even start up the chiller, let me go ahead and show you the temperature of the water as is. So we're starting at about 82 degrees. We're going to turn on the chiller. We're going to see how long this takes. Now, because I actually already have it one frozen, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take this block. We're just going to throw it in. We'll throw that in there and we'll help facilitate the whole process. But let's turn on the chiller now. Okay, so right off the bat, it's reading 83 degrees, the water temperature. We're going to go ahead and set this down. Yeah, sure, we'll just set it at 38. We'll just let this thing run. Now, the first 1 hour update. It is now reading at 76 degrees, guys. So that is about 6 degrees total since we started this in just over an hour. So that's looking pretty good so far. Now guys, it's been 24 hours since I turned on the chiller for the ice pod right here, and we want to see what the temperature is now. So just remember, we put on the insulated cover right here, and we wanted to see relative to last time that we checked this last week, which in 24 hours, the temperature dropped down to 52, and that's about where we could hold it all day long, was at 52 degrees because it was extremely hot. So what do we have today? 41 degrees. And this is actually pretty great because I checked the temperature this morning and it was 41, and now about 7 hours later, it's still at 41 degrees. So it's actually holding the temperature, because last week when I checked it in the morning, it was about 49 and it went up to about 52 in the afternoon. The insulation, this is definitely, in my opinion, well worth the money. Yeah, so there you have it, guys. If you have an ice pod or anything similar, any one of these portable cold plunges out there, this cover right here will actually work for it. But as you can see, it works very, very well. So if you're having a hard time keeping your water cold during this extremely hot summer, then this might very well be worth the upgrade. All right, guys, so there you have it. We talked about the insulated cover. We talked about the ice block. We talked about the jet that's inside, which is making this feel extra, extra cold right now. And plus, we talked about the maintenance chiller kit that included all the filters, the cleaning pads, and also all the chemicals to keep your water as clean as possible. Now, if you have any comments or questions about anything here in the video, by all means, leave those in the comment section down below. Links to all these products are also found in the description, so if you're wanting to purchase any of these things. So I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next video.